A good e-commerce business in the US has a profit margin of around 15%. Typically, the cost of goods sold is around 35%. So COGS or cost of goods sold is 35%, profit margin is 15%. In this video, we are going to see how the new tariffs are going to impact the businesses, the e-commerce businesses, and not just good e-commerce businesses which are having 15% profit margin, but everybody else as well, which are getting their products from China, which are getting sourcing the products or manufacturing the products in China and doing D2C business in the US. This is not a political video. I am trying to just facilitate a discussion stating the facts and the challenges that are there with the new tariffs for the D2C businesses. All right. My name is Sanmeet Walia. I'm the founder of Data Vinci Consulting and Grippy. We specialize in helping businesses unlock the billions hidden in their own data using our conversion optimization and digital analytics consulting services. All right. So let's get directly into it. So you are tariffed. So let's briefly understand what is actually a tariff. Many of you might already know, but at a brief level, tariff is like a toll, if I have to explain to a 5th grade level. So tariff is like a toll, and if any of these goods which are coming from the various countries, these are not manufactured in US, they are entering US, then they need to pay a toll. And just like there are different tolls for different vehicle categories, the tariffs are also different for different countries and also different products. So at the time of creation of this video, there is 145% tariff that is still persisting on China, from where most of the products are getting manufactured for small e-commerce businesses and D2C businesses. There is 10% on other countries, right? And recently a news came that from this 145% tariff, the products in category in the electronic categories like laptops, mobile phones, semiconductors, they have been exempted from this 145%, while there's still uncertainty on the other products. Okay. So as I said, a good e-commerce business has a profit margin of 15%. Cost of goods sold is around 35%. Now let's assume that revenue is 100. So profit is 15, COGS is 35, other expenses is 50. All right, let's assume that. Now, if the tariffs come into picture, then COGS become 85.7, 145%. You can do the math. It is 85.7. All right. And if the revenue is same, that is, if the businesses do not increase the price at which they are selling their products, and the other expenses also remain same at 50, then instead of a profit of 15, this becomes a loss of 35. Then obviously at 35% loss, no business can operate, right? So this is absolutely not going to be sustainable for businesses to keep on selling at the same price if the tariffs are going to be 145%, the way so far is the state of all things that are going on. So if the businesses want to maintain the same profit, absolute profit, I'm not talking about the profit margin, the profit percentage. Here the profit percentage is clearly 15%. But I'm saying if they just want to maintain the absolute profit of 15, not even 15%, and the COGS are now 85.7, and the other expenses are going to remain at 50, right? Then the revenue needs to be at 151. So assuming everything works in their favor, people still buy and nothing changes, then the revenue must be at 151 if they want to maintain a profit, absolute profit of 15 at lower profit margins in terms of percentages. Now the question is, who will take this hit of 15%, right? Is the business owner going to take the hit? I think that's obviously yes. Consumer is going to take the hit. The banks are going to take the hit. The ad platforms are going to take the hit. The employees are going to take the hit. Who is going to take the hit of 51%? Because let's look at challenge 1. Let's say the consumer is going to take the hit, wherein the business owners are saying that we are going to increase our prices by 51%. Obviously, it's not going to be sustainable. Particularly for products which are not very essential, if the prices increase by 51%, then inflation is going to increase and people will avoid buying products that they are buying based on their consumer instincts. They will avoid that in most cases. So this is going to be challenging to convince people to pay 51% more. What is challenge to banks? Let's say a business owner has taken debt or leverage to fund the products that they are sourcing from China. Let's take a hypothetical situation that they have taken $1 million to get the products from China. Okay. Now with the new tariffs of 145%, they need 2.45 million. So there is a requirement of additional 1.45 million. who is going to pay for that? Is the bank going to pay for that? Because the bank will assess the risk, right? The risk has increased over here because the consumers might not pay 51% extra. So even if the bank pays for the additional costs of the tariff and the original goods, it's going to be risky for them. So are they going to do that? Difficult. Now, the whole hypothesis of implementing the tariffs, and I'm not saying this is the wrong hypothesis or right hypothesis, only time can validate a hypothesis, but the hypothesis is that if we introduce tariff in the US, then instead of sourcing the products from the other countries, the manufacturing is going to get a bump in the US, and people will start manufacturing again in the US instead of getting it from outside, and the economy is going to flourish on the basis of that. That's the idea. Okay, now that's a very interesting scenario because US is a democracy. Okay, and what if the voters in the next term, which is not going to be very far in the grand scheme of things, 4-5 years, the voters vote for the Democrats again, and just like the Republicans have changed their stance when it comes to Ukraine, the Democrats change their stance on the tariffs, right? And maybe not in an outright manner, but they start gradually reducing tariffs on the various products. Like this government has introduced tariffs, and then they are saying that the electronic goods are not applicable for the tariffs. So let's say the new government, they also start excluding various products from the tariff, and then there are banks who have given the money to the manufacturers to set up the manufacturing plant in the US, because that's the assumption that the manufacturing is going to increase in US and it's going to be profitable. But if the new government, they do not support the tariffs, then what happens to these manufacturers? What happens to the debt that they have taken to set up manufacturing plant in the US? So that is going to be very interesting. What we also need to understand is that it is not just cheap labor which enables China to dominate the manufacturing sector. China offers various other benefits as well. All right, so it's not just cheap labor. China offers skilled labor at affordable rates. China has cutting edge machinery because manufacturing has been active only in China. So all the innovations that have happened in terms of machinery, in terms of technology that is there associated with manufacturing, the innovations and research has been happening only in China. And they also have the logistics, right? And above all, they have a governance and ecosystem that supports manufacturing, and that's why businesses across the world are comfortable in getting the things manufactured in China, right? So that is also something that we need to understand. So if we are assuming that manufacturing can get active again in the United States, and there is already a lot of conflict among the people in United States when it comes to Republicans versus Democrats and their respective policies. And if the government changes in the next term, then what happens? Because if we are saying that in just 4 to 5 years, we can get all the benefits that China has developed over these years and start setting up manufacturing in the US, that's going to happen. The data or my personal experience suggests that it's not going to be that easy, particularly for all the sectors that are there for which the products are being sourced from China. So it's going to be very difficult. Now we are going to look at this tweet from Mr. Beast. So as you know, Mr. Beast is not just world's biggest individual YouTuber, but he also has his various brands like his Feastable chocolates and Lunchly, etc. So he has tweeted this. Ironically, because of all the new tariffs, it is now way cheaper to make our chocolate bars we sell globally, not in America, because other countries don't have a 20% plus tariff on our COGS, on our cost of goods sold. So he's saying that it's going to be cheaper to get the bars manufactured outside of US now because of this, right? So is the manufacturing going to increase in US? We have one example where the manufacturing is rather not increasing in US, but rather is going down. By the way, we pay our farmers a living income, use fair trade certified beans, etc. So I was already spending a lot on cocoa. A random price hike was pretty brutal. We'll figure it out. He's confident he'll figure it out. I feel for small businesses though, could really be a nail in the coffin for them. So what he's trying to suggest that small businesses are already struggling, right? And now with the new tariffs, it can be a nail in the coffin for them. So at least in the short term, at least right now, based on the way the tariffs have been introduced, it can be really difficult for small businesses, right? So only time will tell what's going to happen. I believe that the government must have also thought about it properly before launching these tariffs. So I am not making any kind of predictions, but what I foresee, this is going to be difficult for small businesses, business owners, D2C. This is going to impact the various agencies who are serving the small businesses, small D2C businesses. This is going to impact the ad platforms on which these small businesses are running their ads, because the profit margins are going to reduce. So obviously they can pay lesser money to all these ad platforms. So in the near term, I see plenty of challenges in getting this executed for the small businesses. In the long term, let's see how it goes. In the long term, let's hope that we reach a situation wherein it's fruitful for everybody, particularly the common people. And it maintains sustenance when it comes to businesses across all parts of the world. All right. From my side, I can just say that I wish well for everybody, and let's see how we are able to navigate this phase of uncertainty. And I believe that the government must have thought properly, assessed all the options properly before launching these things. All right. So if you feel that someone can benefit from this video, or if you feel that if by sharing this video we can facilitate some kind of discussions on this video, then let's do that. I would be happy to get in touch with you. Again, this is not a political video. My intention is to facilitate discussions on tariffs. So that is what I'm doing. All right. So I hope this video was helpful for you. And if we get connected, then I will be creating more videos, and we'll see you. Take care. Bye.